Hey, what's up, guys? I just wanted to do a Logic session breakdown of my project Brushes on Guitar. So, the whole idea for this was just finding a way to practice some different techniques, if you will. So, I was laying in my bed and I had my brushes set up on the drum set over there, and I had my guitar beside me, and I was just thinking, like, how could I do something differently with this, And I had my guitar tuned to open D already, actually. I was trying to learn a Mac DeMarco song. And so it just kind of came together. I picked up a brush and I was like, so many different ways that you can play it, right? So I also had this one closed and I was kind of just sliding up, But I didn't want it to sound bluesy. So I kind of started messing with some different ways to get different sounds. So I had that idea, and I was trying to see how many different sounds I could get with just the brush up here. So you got like the rubber part on the strings, you got just the brush on the strings, you got a little whip too. You kind of have both playing at the same time, right? And so to go along with that, I kind of just started doing this stuff. So let's take a look at the first few tracks that we've got. Started with this. So for the first track, I had both brushes. Kind of like a cajon, if you will. When the second track comes in, I'm just using the rubber part right there. Let's take a listen for this first vamp. Let's see what we have going on. So right there, I'm holding these two frets down. And on this other track, getting those upbeats, right, to go along with the first two beats here. And then we have the melody come in. So for this part, I was using my index finger to play these notes. We also bring these brushes in right here, and I have these panned left and right. So there I'm kind of just doing like classic brush playing, if you will. Now at the beginning of this next section, we bring in a different beat. This is where I'm just playing the guitar with my hands, kind of like a cajon, if you will. And I also have this like flamenco style. So I'm playing these harmonics up here. Let's hear what that sounds like. Now the new groove that we have here, I have some plucking action going on. So I was kind of just plucking these A strings. I think I was holding harmonics on these too. So you could do that with your fingers. You could also do it with the brushes. It'd be a bit louder that way. Kind of crescendo into this next section, where we have a lot more stuff going on now. So this is the only section that I actually played the guitar for the melody. So let's listen to that really quick. So I panned both of those wide. So that's what the melody sounds like. What else do we have going on back here? We've got some tambourine action. Let's check that out. So I also panned these wide. You can probably hear that on the video. So like, and I had it covered with a shirt just to mute it a little bit. What else we have on this vamp? We've got low and high strums. Let's check that out. So I have these panned wide as well. For this, I also strummed this, but you could do it with the brushes like the beginning. But the low strums I've got, and on the high strums I've got the same shape, but on the higher strings. So that's going all the way through with the melody. And now we have some floor toms in here. Let's check that out. Funny enough, I played this part with the old Vespertine brushes just to give it a little more attack and keep that brushy sound. For the beat here, we've got, let's see, where are we at? Sorry, this one. We brought the original beat back in. This also crescendos in the next section, hitting the dominant A. Actually, the funniest part about this is my floor tom was already at an A, so it was the perfect time to bring it in. But now we have a new groove. Let's just loop this, check that out. We've got a floor tom solo happening. You'll hear that all the way through. But for what's actually holding down the vamp, we've got that cajon kind of beat, no brushes, just hands on the guitar. And this is just brushes. I had most of the strings muted for that with my hands. Here's another wide pan. So for this, I split up the parts. So if you had a met 1, 2, 3, 4, one of them would be da 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 da, and the other would be da 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 da, and you can hear that if you wear headphones. What else do we have going on here? Actually, not sure. We have this floor tom solo happening, and then we bring in wide pan floor toms, splitting up the parts. This crescendos to a bass drop. So right there, we bring in the bass. We've got some guitars dropping there too. Let's check that out. So that was a real simple idea. Put my finger up here on 12. Hit it with a brush, slid down 3 times. I have 1 in the middle and then 2 on either side. But now we've got the bass. So I don't have a low B string, so I had to tune my E string down to a D so that I could have these low notes. But the bass drop goes into this quintuple feel, right? And I'm trying to get this dirty, like D'Angelo feel on the groove. And you can hear the bass come in. Let's listen to that first part right there. It comes in on the downbeats first, but then it's like So good. So let's check out what we've got going on here. Just zoom in. Mute the bass for a second. We've got some drums back here. I recorded this with one mic in the middle of my room. I have shirts like all over my drums to keep it nice and muted, but I lifted one of them up so you could get a little more bass action. So I'm playing the hi-hat and the ride cymbal, and I've got a splash cymbal on my snare to get that, you know. And we've got wide pan hi-hats and rim knocks, and they're kind of split. They're like just a little bit off to keep that groove like flowing, you know. And then we also have brush on guitar. So I kind of wanted to split this up with the snare. I don't know if you can hear it as well. Let's do. You can still hear all the fives, right? Nice. You get that bass solo, right? Let's see. And then we bring in this guitar recap and the new feel. If you hear that, let's check out what happened at the beginning really quick so you can see. So in the beginning, we have this part right here. Same idea, right? We've got this closed brush laying down that D chord. And then over here with the guitar recap, where we go. So after the bass solo, you start bringing in these different auxiliary percussions. And we start with these beer carriers. So check this out. I always keep these when I order from Fossil Cove because they recycle them there. Be sure to recycle these. Never throw these away. But they also make perfect whips or castanets, whatever, whichever you're feeling. So let's check out what that sounds like. Here it is soloed. Let's see where it lines up with the beat. So then I played them with a stick for this next one. I don't have a stick nearby, but I do have a triangle beater. So I laid it down on this piano, bitch. Like that. So that's the next position. And then we bring in the Hierro and Brio cowbell patterns, but not on cowbells. I had a coffee mug and a jar, and I just played them with the stick. Let's solo that really quick. Happening under this 5, so that's like 5/4, right? Then I bring in these guitar slides. We have some brush scratches too. Let's listen to that. Crescendoing into this massive groove explosion where we just land on that D chord. So that's just a brief look at this large Logic project. I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you.